Hey, what's up YouTube? So welcome to another gear alternative series where we try to make viable builds revolving around an underused set. For this video, we'll be using the Silks of the Sun set. This set is from Overland from Stonefalls, and we'll be using it on a Magicka Dragonknight. For this series, I'll be straying away from trial gear or mythics to make it very accessible. Furthermore, the rotation will be simplified and as static as possible. This build is capable of pulling over 95k on the parse dummy and a solid build for group content. So as per usual, starting off in the character sheet, I have 64 points in a Magicka, and I'm running the Thief Mundus. For the race, we're a Dark Elf. I think High Elf might be marginally better, but Dark Elf is just fine as well. For the food, we're just going with the usual options. For anything hard, Clockwork Citrus Fillet is probably your best in slot food. A cheaper and almost just a good alternative would be Witchmother's Potent Brew. And lastly, if you're parsing or need more sustain, Ghastly Eyeball is always the go-to. So for potions, we're going to keep it simple and just run Essence of Spell Power. Reason being is we don't have great uptimes on Major Prophecy and we don't have access to Major Sorcery. Keep in mind that these potions do cost a little bit to make or buy, so make sure you have 3 points from the medicinal use from the Alchemy skill line to ensure that you benefit from the full duration. And also, if you want to save a little bit of money, just swap out Scalding Rune on the back bar for Degeneration, and then you'll have access to both Major Sorcery and Major Prophecy on both bars, so you can just run regular Essence of Magicka. So for CP for the blue tree, we're running Fighting Finesse, Deadly Aim, Thaumaturge, and Wrathful Strikes. For the red CP, we have Boundless Vitality, Fortified, Rejuvenation, and Celerity. This is a flex spot, you can swap this out for whatever you like instead. So for the gear, we're running 5 pieces of Silks of the Sun paired with 5 pieces of Venomous, 1 piece Maelstrom Inferno, and 2 piece Zon. So breaking down in the main hand, we have a Venomous Dagger Nerdhone with a flame damage enchant, a charged Venomous Dagger with a poison damage enchant. For the back bar, 1 piece Maelstrom Inferno Staff infused with a weapon damage enchant. For the head and shoulders, 2 pieces of medium Zons, both in divines with max mag enchants. And for the body, 5 pieces of Silks of the Sun, all traded in divines with max mag. And for the jewelry, 3 pieces of venomous jewelry, all bloodthirsty with weapon and spell damage enchants. So for the skills, we're going to be running Burning Talons. This is a good dot and it lasts for 4 seconds, and this is what we're going to revolve our rotation around. It also offers a nice little synergy as well. Molten Whip are spammable. Burning Embers, this is a decent dot that also heals you when this ability expires. Engulfing Flames, this is another flame damage dot, and it increases the damage that enemies take from all flame damage attacks. Flames of Oblivion, another flame damage dot, and this also gives us Major Prophecy if you want to not run the spell power pots. Flawless Dawnbreaker, this is slotted mostly for the passive. On the back bar, Barbed Trap because we need Minor Force, and this does good bleed damage. Unstable Wall because we're running Maelstrom and another strong flame damage dot. Eruption, another dot. And Scalding Rune, a Mage's Guild flame damage dot. Inner Light, this is your flex spot. You can also swap this out for whatever skill you need. And lastly, Standard of Might. This is our ultimate we're going to be using. So for the rotation, we're going to be running a static rotation, meaning we're going to be casting a skill after skill in a specific order. So we're going to base it around our Burning Talons, meaning we're going to be casting Burning Talons and then 4 skills after that. And that's going to be the rhythm of the rotation. So breaking it down, we're going to start off with a Burning Talons into all 4 of our back bar dots. These are Barbed Trap, Unstable Wall, Eruption, and Scalding Rune. And then bar swap into another Burning Talons, and then 3 of our front bar dots. This is Flames of Oblivion, Engulfing Flames, and Burning Embers. And then we're going to add 1 whip just to make the 4th skill. And then we're going to go Burning Talons again, and then 1 whip, recast Wall here, and then 2 whips right after that. And then the last part is just Burning Talons and 4 whips. So once you complete that whole sequence, you can just go back to the beginning and start off from the Burning Talons and the back bar dots. Whenever your ultimate Standard of Might is ready, just drop that in place of one of your whips. For Flawless Dawnbreaker and Inner Light, they're both slotted for the passives, but you can use Dawnbreaker if you can't get enough ult for standard. So closing thoughts, first up, I was actually surprised at how well Silks of the Sun did. You could probably push a little bit more DPS if you swapped out Venomous for Pillar, but I wanted to make this as easily accessible as possible. In terms of Zons, I debated about using Zons because it is a DLC dungeon and a monster monster set, so you do have to complete it on veteran difficulty. You can run any type of monster set you'd like. Something like even Maul would probably be okay as well. So for the skills, I'm running Burning Embers instead of Venomous Claw, which is really weird considering that every build right now uses Venomous Claw. And the reason is I wanted to fit it into a static rotation, and so I wanted to be able to recast it early. And it also does flame damage, so it is affected by Silks of the Sun. Since Venomous Claw is a skill that ramps up in damage, if you recast it, you're going to lose a lot of damage. So thus I chose the Healing Morph or Burning Embers instead. And as per usual, gear alternatives, if you wanted to push a little bit more DPS but wanted to keep the light armor and the Inferno Staff, you can always change out Silks of the Sun for something like Whirl of Depths, and then swap out Venomous for a Pillar, which then would just become like a light armor meta setup. Other alternatives you can run, Boss A is a good trial set, but it does require you to control your Magicka. Sororia is a good set that's also dependent on content because you do have to be stationary for quite a bit. Berserking Warrior, Aegis Caller, Reliquin, and Coral Riptide are all fantastic media armor sets. And if you want an even more budget build, Order's Wrath and Julianos is a good starting setup. That wraps up the build explanation section of this portion. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below or come join our Discord. Link is in the description. I will have a written guide linked in the description for those who would prefer that. And as always, thank you to my YouTube members. Feel free to stick around for an attached parse and outfit section at the end. If not, have a good day and thank you again.